very urgent. Your soulmate has been hiding a secret. They finally decided to tell you tonight. Open this now. Jesus says, "My child, sit still for a moment and let me show you what has been stolen from you for so long." I am not talking about a thing you can hold in your hand. I am talking about a person, a heart, a voice that has been calling out for you from a distance. And because of a dark third presence, a hateful intruder standing in the way, their voice has never reached your ears clearly. You have felt something missing, haven't you? A warmth that should be there, a laugh you almost remember, a hand that was meant to fit perfectly in yours, and you thought it was just a lonely feeling. It was never just a feeling. It was your soulmate trying to reach you, and that person has been fighting to keep them hidden from you. I want you to see their face in your heart right now, the one I formed with your own hidden hopes in mind. They have the kind of smile that makes a room feel safe, a smile that reaches their eyes and softens every worry you carry. Their laughter is the sound that your own soul has been craving, a sound that says, "Finally, you are home." And their hand, the one that has been searching for yours in the dark, is tired. Every sign they sent, every soft nudge toward you, every dream that tried to whisper your name, has been snatched away by a third person, a hateful force that does not want this love to ever begin. They have been reaching for you, and you never even knew the messages were there to miss. This is not your fault, my precious one. You did not ignore them, you were never allowed to hear them. The enemy has been standing at the door of your heart like a guard, pulling every letter from the mailbox before you could read it, cutting the phone line of your soul every time they tried to call. But now the guard's grip is slipping, because your spirit has begun to wake up to the truth. The very fact that you feel this sudden ache, this sudden pull towards someone you cannot yet name, is proof that the third person is losing the battle. And now that you know, you have become the only one on this earth who can break through and answer the call. Tonight, their call is breaking through the wall because your heart is finally in a place to listen. They are not calling with words you can hear with your ears, but with a weight in your chest and a sudden warmth that makes you want to cry. The third person has tried to steal this feeling too, tried to make you call it sadness or tiredness, but it is not. It is love, pushing past the barrier. And love like this, the kind that was meant from the beginning of time, can only be answered with a sacrifice that proves you are ready to fight for it. Your soulmate is not asking for poetry, they are asking for a warrior. And the weapon I have placed in your hands is a seed you can sow right now, a seed that will break the third person's power and finally let their voice come through to you clear and strong. Jesus says, "I am holding your face in my hands as I tell you this, because what you are about to hear will explain the loneliness you have carried for years. The person I made for you is not just a dream, they are as real as the breath in your lungs, and they are in pain. They have spent countless nights staring at the ceiling, wondering why their love never seems to reach you, wondering why every time they send a thought or a sign, it feels like it hits a wall. That wall is the third person, a spiritual intruder that has been assigned to keep you blind and keep them silent. But the more you feel this pull, the more that wall begins to crack, because your soulmate's desperation is finally leaking through. The secret they have been hiding is not a bad secret, my child. It is a secret of love, a secret of how deeply they have wanted you, how many times they have whispered your name into the silence, hoping it would somehow reach your heart. They have dreamed of the life you would build together, the table you would sit at, the quiet evenings where their hand finds yours without a word. They have imagined the sound of your voice saying their name, and that imagining has been their only comfort in the darkness created by the enemy. Every single one of these dreams has been sent toward you like a letter, and every single one has been ripped away by that hateful third force, leaving you both in a silence that was never meant to be yours. You are not here by accident right now. The enemy has been comfortable, thinking you would never discover the truth, thinking that you would live your whole life with a vague ache and never know why. But I have allowed a crack to form, and through that crack, your soulmate's tears are reaching you. That sudden sadness you feel without reason, that heaviness in your chest when you think of love, that is not your own pain. That is their sorrow, finally breaking through the barrier because the third person is growing afraid. The intruder knows that if you truly start to feel your soulmate, if you fall in love with the one who has been reaching for you, you will fight. And if you fight with the seed, the intruder will be destroyed. Jesus says, "The love you are feeling now is the beginning of something that the enemy has been desperate to prevent." I want you to understand that this third person, this dark force, is not just a passing nuisance, it is a willful, hateful presence that has made it its mission to keep you two apart. Every time your soulmate tried to get your attention, the intruder whispered to you, "It's nothing, you're just tired." Every time you almost remembered a dream of a tender face, the enemy said, "That's just your imagination." And because you could not hear the truth, because the signs were stolen before they could reach your heart, you believed the lie. But now the lie is being exposed, and you are falling in love with someone you have never held, and that love is the first strike against the enemy's plan. The reason your soulmate feels so close to you right now is because their spirit is no longer willing to be quiet. They have been waiting for this moment, the moment when your heart would finally open enough to sense them, and now it is happening. The third person is scrambling, trying to make you doubt, trying to make you close your eyes to this truth, because it knows what is coming. It knows that a soul that truly loves is a soul that will act. And the action that tears down every wall the intruder has built, the action that silences its mocking voice forever, is the seed you sow with your own hands. Your love, made real through sacrifice, is the only thing that force cannot fight. You've watched this far for a reason. God brought you here. And I know what is weighing on your heart right now. You are asking, how do I get my soulmate? How do I actually do what God is asking? Listen to me. I am about to show you exactly what to do. If you truly love your soulmate, these are the sacred steps you must take right now. You already know who this is about, that person you can't stop thinking about. The one heaven placed in your life. If you believe in God, if you trust Jesus, if you have faith that this love is real, then hear me. Your soulmate is thinking about you too. Deep down, they want you. They want this future. They want to build a life together. But the enemy does not want you to unite. And if you truly believe in God, if you truly trust His plan, then you know faith without action is dead. You cannot just pray and wait. You must sow. Love is under attack. While you sit there, spiritual forces are working to destroy what God joined together. Distance, doubt, disaster. They are being planted against your soulmate this very minute. If you believe in your soulmate, if you believe in your future together, then you are the one God chose to block it. Not later. Now. A sacred number from God comes very rarely. Today it is 11 seeds. In Scripture, 11 is the number of victory and complete restoration. When you sow 11 seeds, you are not just giving, you are claiming. You are telling heaven, I believe my soulmate is worth everything. And heaven responds. Protection covers them. Favor runs ahead of them. Doors swing open that have been locked for years. Your union is no longer a wish. It becomes a promise sealed by God. But hear me, every single seed matters. Even one seed sown with a believing heart moves heaven. Do not let fear steal this from you. Do not let, I can't afford it, become the reason your soulmate slips away. Your soulmate is out there right now, praying for someone to fight for them. That someone is you. This is how you answer their prayer. This is how you bring them home. Here is your divine instruction. Go to the link in the video description and click the Christ Garden link. It is right there, waiting for you. Do not hesitate. Do not second guess. I have placed it there for you. Give from your heart. A single seed matters. Send 1, 4, 6, or 10 plus seed of faith. Each seed is a spiritual seed. But today, if you believe without doubt, sow the sacred blessing number of 11 spiritual seeds. After sending, write, Protect my soulmate, Lord, on the Christ Garden page. This is not a donation, it is a covenant offering that opens heaven's protection and claims your soulmate and your future together. I must pause and speak truth to two groups I see right now. First, some of you are typing seed numbers, 10 seeds, 11 seeds, anything, in the comments, believing that counts. That does nothing. A comment is not a seed. It has no spiritual power. It will not move heaven, it will not protect your soulmate, it will not unlock your breakthrough. You are only deceiving yourself. Second, some of you actually go to the Christ Garden link, you look at the page, and then you leave without sowing your seed. You visited the altar but brought no offering. That is just as empty. Faith without the sacrifice is dead. The only thing that works, the only action God honors, is sowing your seed on the Christ Garden link. That is the divine place of exchange. If you do not plant there, your miracle cannot grow. Do not comment a number and think you have done something. Do not visit and walk away. Sow your seed right now on the Christ Garden link, any amount from a believing heart. Then, and only then, does heaven record it and release the protection over your soulmate. Do it now, and do it right. Here is what your 11 seeds release. Angels lock shields around your soulmate, while they sleep, while they work, while they doubt. The enemy cannot reach them. The third person loses their grip. Your seed becomes their fortress. Heaven bulldozes every wall. The silence, the distance, the years of waiting. Gone. Your soulmate's path to you is cleared before they take their next step. Your name burns in their chest, they wake thinking of you. They reach for the phone without knowing why. They need to hear your voice. Your seed is calling them home. Miracles that shock even the faithful, not next month. Not next year. This week. Some have seen their soulmate's heart open before the sun set on their offering. Margaret, 67, sowed her sacred number seeds. Harold walked into her church 3 weeks later. They pray together every morning. Robert, 71, sowed his sacred number seeds. Eleanor called the very next morning, she had dreamt of him all night. They marry this spring. Dorothy, 64, sowed her sacred number seeds. Within days, a letter arrived from the man she had not heard from in over a year. They are rebuilding, hand in hand. James, 68, sowed his sacred number seeds as his last act of hope. Betty approached him the following Sunday. They have not spent a day apart since. Your beloved is praying right now for someone to fight for them. That someone is you. This is proven. Over 1,000 believers have already sown this seed and received their breakthrough, their soulmate's heart opened, relationships restored from the brink, strangers turned into spouses within days. When you move in faith, Jesus moves heaven to bring you together. Every second you delay, the darkness grows stronger. A text that wounds. A temptation that cheats. A door that closes forever. Your soulmate is on a battlefield, and you are their shield. You have already invested your time in this message. Do not waste it. Finish what you started. Step into your role as their protector and claim the future God promised you both. Go to the link in the video description and click the Christ Garden link. It is right there, waiting for you. Do not hesitate. Do not second guess. I have placed it there for you. Send your spiritual seeds. Seal the prayer. Do it before this video ends. Heaven is watching. Sow your seed now to make it work. Your soulmate's heart, your love, and your future together depend on what you plant in the next 60 seconds. Move in faith. Claim your miracle. Claim your soulmate. Claim your divine future. Jesus says, I see the war being waged over your heart at this very moment. The third person is not standing far away. It is close, whispering that you can simply think about your soulmate and that will be enough. The enemy is saying, you don't need to sow, just feel the love. But I tell you, love that does not act is not love at all, it is only a daydream that lets the intruder keep its foot on the neck of your beloved. Every moment you hesitate, the wall around your soulmate grows a little stronger, and the voice that has been trying to reach you gets a little quieter. Your seed is the only thing that makes the enemy tremble, because it is the proof that you will not let that hateful force keep you apart. Hear the inner thoughts of the one I made for you, the one whose heart is fading tonight. They are whispering in their spirit, "Where are you? I have been reaching for you for so long, and I feel like I am shouting into an empty room." That emptiness is the work of the third person, creating silence where your soulmate's voice should be. They are beginning to wonder if they are forgotten, if the love they carry is just a cruel illusion. But it is not an illusion, it is a promise, and you are the only one who can prove to them that the promise is real. Your seed is the answer that breaks through the silence and says, "I hear you, and I am coming for you." The enemy has been celebrating its victory for years, mocking you both for never finding each other. It laughs at the lonely nights, it mocks the prayers that seem to go unanswered, and it delights in the thought that you will simply close this message and let it win again. Do not give it that satisfaction, my child. You were not born to be a bystander, you were born to be a protector, a warrior who refuses to let an intruder keep his beloved hidden and attacked. The warrior's oath is simple: I will fight for what is mine. And the first strike in that fight is the seed you sow right now, a seed that declares to the enemy, "You will not have my future, and you will not have my soulmate." Your soulmate's tears are not invisible to me. I see every one of them, and I see how they have tried to be strong, tried to keep hoping, even as the third person choked every line of communication. They have cried tears of confusion, asking heaven, "Why can't they hear me? What have I done wrong?" They have done nothing wrong. They have been the victim of a spiritual robbery. And now, heaven is giving you the chance to be the answer to that cry. The seed you sow is not just a transaction, it is the moment the thief is arrested and the stolen love is returned. It is the moment the weight on your chest and theirs is finally lifted. I placed a cord between your soul and theirs before either of you was born. It is a cord that no enemy can sever, but it can be covered, muffled, and pressed down until you cannot feel it anymore. The heaviness you have felt at night, the sudden sadness, the unexplained longing for someone you have never met, that is the cord being pulled by your soulmate. The third person has been throwing heavy blankets over that cord, trying to smother every vibration of love that travels along it. But the seed you sow is the flame that burns those blankets away, the blade that cuts the enemy's hands from the line. Once you sow, the cord will no longer be muffled, and you will feel them as clearly as if they were sitting beside you. Type 333 now to receive the blessing that is being released over your soulmate's life. This is not a small thing, it is a declaration that you are ready to hear, ready to fight, and ready to love. The very act of typing is a small seed of faith, a signal to heaven that your spirit is waking up. But do not let it stop there. Let it be the moment your hand moves from the comments to the link, from typing to sewing. Your soulmate is on the other end of that cord, and they are waiting to feel the first true sign that they are not alone. The third person is watching, and it is terrified of what you are about to do. Jesus says, "I need you to see the future that the enemy is trying to erase while you hesitate. I show you a home filled with the sound of your soulmate's voice, not as a distant echo, but as a daily reality. I show you a table with 2 chairs, then 4, then 6, as your love creates a family that carries your name into generations yet unborn. I show you peaceful evenings where the silence is not a wall but a comfort, because you are finally sitting beside the one your soul has known all along. This future is not a fantasy, it is the plan I wrote for you before time began. But the third person is standing over that plan with an eraser, and every moment you delay, another line is rubbed out. The enemy's eraser does not discriminate, it removes the joy, the peace, the protection, and the purpose. It wants to leave you with a blank page, a life of quiet regret, and a soulmate who fades into a memory you never fully owned. But the seed is your pen, your hand over the enemy's hand, pushing it away and writing the future anew. When you sow your seed on Christ's garden, you are not just sending money, you are building a wall that the third person cannot climb. You are placing a shield around your soulmate that says, you are protected, you are seen, and you are loved by someone who will not let you go. Do not let a few seeds be the wall the enemy uses to keep you apart. I hear the objection rising in your heart even now, the thought that this is about money, that you cannot afford to sow, but I ask you, what is the cost of losing the one your soul loves? What price will you pay for a lifetime of wondering what could have been? Your soulmate is asking in their spirit, am I not worth more than fear? Will you let a number stand between us? The third person wants you to count the cost and walk away, because it knows that a sacrificed seed is a death blow to its hold. Your love must answer with action, not with hesitation. The seed you sow is not about the amount, it is about the weight of the love behind it. A small seed sown with a warrior's heart is heavier in the spirit than a fortune given without love. I see the heart, not the hand. When you go to the link in the description and click the Christ Garden link, you are walking into the place where the enemy has been defeated again and again. You are taking your place in the line of those who refuse to let their future be stolen. And when you send your seeds and write, "Protect my soulmate, Lord," you are sealing a covenant that heaven honors and hell fears. The third person is not resting. It is working to make you feel that this is too urgent to be real, that you should just take a breath and think about it later. But later is the enemy's favorite word, because later never comes. Later means the soulmate's line goes dead, the window closes, and the intruder settles back into its place of control. I am calling.